Hey guys, it's Steve. In today's video, I'm talking about ideas on how to de-escalate people with intellectual disabilities. One thing right off the bat, if somebody with intellectual disabilities gets upset, you need to understand they can get upset very easily. Like for example, let's say they have a roommate, they might be having an argument over something stupid like where they worked. Maybe one of them worked at fast food and the other one said that it wasn't messy in the restaurant and the other one calls them a liar. Even just that enough can set off somebody with intellectual disabilities. This isn't the case every case, but sometimes people with intellectual disabilities can get set off extremely easily. Your job as a parent, as a brother, sister, a staff member, maybe you work at a group home, is to understand and just be understanding of where they're at, because they really are upset about what they're upset about. One idea you guys can do is you can give the person space. So let's say your group home is 2 floors. Bobby, the person with intellectual disabilities, flipping out. One thing you can do is say, "Hey, I'm going to give you some space," and then go down to the other floor and give that client space alone to calm down. That's one thing you can do. You can ask the person, "Do you want staff with you right now, or do you want space?" That way, the person with intellectual disabilities feels like they have a little bit of control. Another thing you guys can do is change the subject. This works really good. It actually works really good with anyone that's upset. You can change the subject. How might you do that with someone with intellectual disabilities? You might say, "Hey, Bobby, I know you like Marvel. I know you like Marvel comics. Can you tell me who your favorite Marvel comic book character is?" Immediately, they start going into who their favorite Marvel comic book character is, and they forget why they're mad. You want to get their mind off of what they're mad about. That's kind of the goal. Um, Another thing you guys can do is offer them their coping skills. If they're really flipping out, if they're really upset, you can say, "Hey, Bobby, I know you're upset. I understand. Why don't you turn on your TV? I know your TV helps you. Why don't you use your music?" One time I was working with a client who was slightly ID. He was like King Kong. But he was like a child on the inside, guys. He was literally a grown man, about 6'6", about 400 pounds, but mentally was about 8 years old. So me knowing that, I literally just took him by the hand and took him down to his room and helped him turn his radio on, because when he blasted music, it helped him calm down. So you want to direct the person with intellectual disabilities to their coping skills. Hey, Bobby, do you need to go for a walk? I know walking helps calm you down. Hey, Bobby, why don't you turn a movie on? I know your movies help you calm down. Hey, Bobby, why don't you call your mom? Why don't you call your dad? Why don't you call your case manager? Why don't you call your pastor? I know your pastor helps calm you down. So directing the person with intellectual disabilities to their coping skills is key, guys. What you want to do is ultimately give the person space and let them come to you. Be very upfront. Do you want staff here with you right now? That way the person feels like they have some control. Otherwise, you can walk away and give them some space if they need space. You want to be a little bit careful about assaults, because sometimes people with intellectual disabilities can be assaultive. So you need to be a little bit aware of that. Just follow your procedures at your group home in regards to physical assaults, things like that. Use things like MANT, like removing the trigger. MANT says to remove the trigger. So if one, let's say 2 staff are upstairs in the person's apartment. One's name Mark and one's name is Jim. If the intellectual disability person is targeting Jim, MANT would say get Jim out of their apartment, because you're removing the trigger. You're removing what they're upset about. That will help the person with intellectual disabilities calm down. If you like this video, guys, you can subscribe. I do all kinds of mental health videos. I do Amazon videos. I'm a Helium 10 affiliate, which is Amazon software for merch on demand. I do all kinds of video, guys. Karaoke. You can like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, Steve signing out.